Hi, it's Jonquil. Good morning. Well, it's morning for me. I am preparing my food for the week, and I just wanted to briefly speak with you about eating healthy and preparing ahead of time for the week. And so I am going to share some of my routine with you. I said that I would share some tools and tips, and so this is a part of it. I am going to make jerk chicken. I have 4 thighs out, a pound of ground beef. I'm going to make a hoisin meatloaf, and then I'm going to just roast some sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts. I'm going to put a balsamic glaze on the Brussels sprouts and just simply a little olive oil and some salt on the sweet potatoes, and just lightly season with a balsamic glaze and olive oil the Brussels sprouts with probably a little lemon pepper and a little salt, a little Himalayan or Celtic salt. And so I have my my pans prepped and ready. I also have my skillet out to make breakfast this morning, and a few to-go containers to take breakfast with me. I typically do some intermittent fasting. I eat later in the morning. I start out with a little water and baking soda, and then I have a ginger shot with lemon juice, a little honey, ginger, and some cayenne pepper, and in a little warm water. So I am going to start because I have to get going. I put my seasonings and spices and everything out last night. And then I also put out breadcrumbs, eggs. I have my eggs out this morning, and all of the spices that I need to mix up everything. So I'm just going to generously season this chicken with my jerk seasoning. And after that, I'm going to pop it in the oven. I have my oven already heating. And so I cleaned the chicken with a little vinegar and baking soda earlier. Let me grab my pan for this one. So I try and prep ahead of time. And some of this I will take with me to lunch today. So while it is cooking, I will hop in the shower. I was on my rebounder this morning, and I am trying to get consistent. I am not there yet, but I am on my way. And so, and this is just a mixture of red pepper flakes, a little brown sugar, and coriander, just a variety of spices to give that jerk flavoring. A little spicy sweet. I like a little more spice than sweet, of course. And so I am going to put probably a little Creole seasoning with this. I am from Louisiana originally. I've lived in Texas for over 30 years, but I like my Louisiana flavor. And so I typically add it to most things. And so I enjoy cooking. Cooking is something that I have always enjoyed doing, and it brings me peace. That is something that has always been the case for me. And so I enjoy cooking. And so and then I eat healthier when I cook. So that is also why I prefer cooking. I try and clean as I go, just to make things easier, since a lot of times I will try and do certain things in the evening or on a Sunday afternoon, or either I will work on these various different things first thing in the morning. I was up very early this morning so that I could read, do a little devotional, and then take the time to work out a little bit, as well as get all of this popped in the oven and ready to go before I head to work. I should have a busy day today at work, and this evening I will try to get more things done with my book. And so that is my goal. And I did say that I would do some balsamic glaze on it. And I have a vision board up in my kitchen because I spend a lot of time in my kitchen. And so I do like to make sure I can see my goals for my various different endeavors, streams of income. And out of sight, out of mind. And so I try and keep it in the forefront where I go every day so that I am able to stay on task. I try and have everything organized in my planner because it's busy when you are working on your own endeavors while working a 9-to-5 job. Trying to keep, as I said, dishwater going, spread these out here and there just so that they crisp up a bit. And with these Brussels sprouts, I am going to use them to make a salad or just eat them on the side as a side dish. But I really enjoy a salad that reminds me of Thanksgiving dinner in a bowl. And so basically with this particular salad, I like to use turkey in it, but sometimes I'll use chicken and cranberries, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, mixed greens. Sometimes I'll throw in a little cheese. I like to put some pecans, either sweet or savory, depending on how I'm feeling. And then I'll throw in a little cheese sometimes as well. Apple is always a good thing with that particular salad. And so I just do a variety of different things just to keep it interesting so that I don't get bored while eating healthy. And so that is just a few of the things that I do. And so I think it's important to have a morning routine and try and stay on task as much as possible. I plan out the different things that I'm doing just so that I can keep up. I do a lot of to-do lists because I need to keep up with everything that I have going in order to build a new life. When it comes to cooking, I had gotten quite creative when it comes to, because I've had to get food from food pantries at various different times over the years because I was a single mom, and so I ran out of parchment paper, so this is not going to cover it completely, and but at least it'll get rid of some of the mess that you get from, but I will have to do a little scrubbing on the edges. I was trying to keep from having so much of a mess by using the parchment paper. But it is what it is. And what I was saying was, when it comes to cooking and being creative, because I was a single mom, I had to, I think I will put a little pumpkin spice on this for a little something different, little extra flavoring. And so I just kind of get creative as I go with spices, just to change things up as I go with different things. And I've gotten quite creative in taking things that I start out one way and then I end up layering spices so that I can turn it into something else midweek. And so those are just some of the tricks and things that I do. I had to get quite creative when it came to cooking because of the fact that a lot of my food came from pantries. And so I would go into a food pantry. Sorry about the sound of the water, but I just wanted to keep going and talk to you as I go. But I have, like that, one of those cooking shows where they are given ingredients in a box and then they have to turn it into something. A lot of times that's how things have been for me when it came to shopping, because I never knew what was going to be available at the various pantries, food pantries that I would go to. So I've learned to be quite creative in choosing my ingredients. I look to see what they have and then quickly think, okay, what can I create with this? What can I do with this? what can I make for the week with this? And I'm very grateful and thankful because there are times when, as my faith increased, I learned to make a list of things that I desired, things that I wanted to cook for the week. I'd look at what I have, look at what was available to me, and I always would take an inventory of what I had so that I am able to figure out what I can do with what's there. And so I have this ground beef, a pound of ground beef. The chicken was simple. I just took the 4 thighs and put some jerk seasoning on it, popped it in the oven to bake. When I get ready to warm up this chicken, when I'm home, I'll use my handy dandy air fryer here just to crisp up the skin. I like a little bit of a crunchy skin, especially on the jerk chicken with those spices. So I am going to season this ground beef to make the hoisin meatloaf. Generally, I just mix together a variety of different seasonings and spices. I layer the spices because I'm going to put some spices in the eggs as well, so that everything is layered in spices, so that it's not bland. But as I was saying, I had to get quite creative and just have fun in the kitchen and make it enjoyable, make it as pretty as possible, even if it's not the best ingredients. You pray over it and do the best that you can do with what you have. And so that is what I have learned. I'm going to put a little coconut milk in this, a little hoisin, dash of mustard just for a little spice, but the coconut milk will kind of add a little softness to this, and Worcestershire sauce. So these are a few of the things that I don't really measure as I cook. I just kind of go by sight and just kind of throw things together. And so that's just how I've learned, watching my mom, my grandmother. But the eggs are your binder. I have about a half a cup of breadcrumbs, and depending on how much liquid I've put in here, I might toss in a little more because I'm looking for texture. And so I just kind of throw things together and trust that it will taste good in the end. You can always season a bit afterwards, but the spices that I have, some red pepper, some ginger, pepper, salt, just a variety of different things, because it changes each time. Nothing is ever exactly the same. I get some recipes are close. Some things I do, you know, I've made them so long, I've done them so long that, and I do need more. Panko breadcrumbs. I like the panko. I like the texture of panko with meatloaf. It just, I don't know, it just seems to work better for me than just plain breadcrumbs. So that's what I have been using for a while now, and I just really enjoy that. I do have my topping already mixed up because I did prepare last night, knowing that this would be a busy morning for me, getting everything together. And so I just kind of mix this up as I go. It'll be a bit gooey. And then I just kind of season as I go. I go by smell, I go by sight. And it had a little mustard, a little Worcestershire sauce in it, a little coconut milk. This texture should be good. And so I'm going to place it in this pan, and then I will pour this sauce that's been prepared over it. Then I will put everything in the fridge, do my best to quickly clean all of my dishes, and then I just kind of fold it over and turn it into a mound, and then I'll sprinkle a little seasoning on top of it. And then start my cleaning process this morning. And so I just kind of take this, and I don't press it too hard because I don't want it too dense. I just kind of form it into a bit of a square, or as close as I can get it. It's not going to be perfect, and especially, you know, on days when I'm doing things in the morning like this and rushing a little bit. But it still comes together. This is only about an inch, inch and a half, so by the time it's time for me to go to work, this will be done and ready. So, I just wanted to share some things with you regarding that, and I hope that you're able to create some lovely things to work on all the different parts of your life as well. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. My book goes into all of that, and this is just how I am taking care of myself in those arenas. So this morning, I took care of the emotional and mental and spiritual parts by reading, devotional. Then I took care of my physical part by getting on my rebounder, doing my baking soda and water, drinking it, taking my ginger shot, and I am also going to take my vitamins this morning and then prepare my breakfast. I'm simply going to do some scrambled eggs. I've been trying to make sure that I keep an eye on what I am eating. And so I am trying to do less carbs, less bread, less rice, you know, those types of things. And of course, I've definitely limited my sugar intake just so that I can really work on my health and do better. But I really like this hoisin sauce. It's a mixture of mustard, hoisin, a little bit of ketchup, and maybe a soy sauce. I think I may have put some soy sauce, a little soy sauce in here. So this is ready to pop in the oven. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. And so I'm going to pop this in the oven. So right now I have, in I guess about a half an hour, I have put together jerk chicken, which is in the oven, a meatloaf in the oven, potatoes and Brussels sprouts in the oven. Later, I will probably fry up some cabbage to go with that, or do a salad, or make that Thanksgiving in a bowl salad that I told you about. So I will take these proteins and create several different meals out of it. Either salad and meatloaf, or cabbage and meatloaf, or meatloaf with the potatoes. And then I'll just go through and see what other veggies I have and just kind of mix in as I go through the rest of the week into the weekend. And then I will prepare more protein. I try and cook a couple of days a week. If I can do it all in one day, I do. But if not, there are things like later this week, I will probably do salmon croquettes. And that's something that's quick and easy. I use canned salmon that I got from the pantry, and I put it with the panko breadcrumbs, some eggs, some spices, and I either stick it in the air fryer, or I put a little bit of olive oil in the pan and cook those that way. So it's just a variety of different things that I do, and I make a list of what I'm going to eat that week so that I know what I have, and then I just mix and match as I go, just to make things easier. So I hope that is helpful. I just try and do my best to be prepared for the week, have everything in mind that I need to do, my goals for fitness. I keep an eye on my vision board, what I need to do for my books, a picture of myself when I was thinner, and as I get to that size, then I'll put another picture up from years back. I've been up and down in weight over the years, just a variety of different things, what my goals are with the different businesses that I have. And so that's just how I organize things. It's just how I balance everything. That's how I balance all the blessings that God has given to me. So I will show you pictures of what it looks like afterwards, but I want to thank you for spending time with me and cooking with me this morning. And I hope to share more tips from my book with you. And I just want to thank you. I am very grateful and thankful for my journey. And so I am thankful for anyone who is coming along for the ride with me. So have a wonderful day. Bye. This is Jonquil.